Logan, Kalani said that momentum was gained from that win over Cincinnati. How would you describe the momentum that this team has heading into this regular season finale against UCF?
I feel that as the weeks have gone on throughout the season, our team has just been closer, playing better as a unit and on all three phases, special teams, offense, and defense. And I feel like going into this final game, we're just starting to hit our peak. So I'm excited.
And then for you, senior day coming up, last year you went through this, that Houston game. That was, was thought to be senior day, and then you get an extra year. Are you better equipped for the emotions that come with the senior day after having experienced it before?
Yeah, I'll say, yeah, but it's still going to be a bittersweet moment, especially with the team that we have and my experiences here. It's been nothing short of amazing here at BYU, and I'm glad I've been able to spend my time here, the time I've spent here, and yeah, just taking it all in. Grateful for the chance I've been here, and I'm grateful for the season that we've had.
Next question from Brandon Gurney.
Logan, second week in a row, your defensive line was named Big 12 Defensive Line of the Week. How aware are you of those recognitions, and how much pride do you take in it as maybe the senior statesman of that defensive line group?
Yeah, I mean, we take a lot of pride in trying to stop the ball, stop the run. We pride ourselves in practice going against one of the top O-line in the nation, I feel like, and you've seen in this past game of our LJ and his rushing yards, but I feel like in practice we go against one of the best, so it's good to go out and perform on Saturdays, especially when we only have 3 down linemen and being able to stop the run, and we need all 11 guys, so it's not just the D-line, but like I said, we're just playing better as a unit each and every week.
Yeah, Logan, you, as Brandon talked about, was one of the elder statesmen on this defensive line, especially the defensive end group. Can you give us some insight into how you've helped guys like Tausili Akana and Nusi Tamoepeau kind of get into the system and get so adapted so quickly?
Those two are already well equipped when they got into the system. I wouldn't say I had much to do with it. It's great seeing those two, and especially all the other DNs in the room. A lot of great young talent, and the team's going to be in good hands, especially in that position for a while. But it's been fun to be around those young guys and to be able to share what I've learned throughout the years and see them go out on Saturdays and perform and have success. And it's just a fun room to be in.
You've been pretty effective in your own role so far this year. What's led to you being so effective just coming off the edge?
I would say just understanding our defensive line goals. We have goals and what we want to accomplish as a defensive line unit and personally. And I felt like, especially going into this season, I just wanted to make sure there was nothing left unsaid or no doubts left on the table, and just trying to spill it every week. And I'm just surrounded by great players. We have some great D tackles and DNs in our defensive line group, and just playing against them just makes me look better when the ball comes to me. So, yeah, I got to tip my hat to those guys.
Yeah, Logan, you touched on this a little bit because now, about to go through your second senior night and all that. But could you, I know for a lot of guys, when they get to this point, they talk about how it sneaks up on them. They can't believe how quick the time has gone. Could you have imagined being at this point, celebrating your second senior night at BYU, doing what you're doing on last year's team, this year's team, everything else, when you were that true freshman that first headed up to Weber State?
No, actually, that's something pretty surreal to me. Especially, I speak about this with my wife often. Being in the situation that we're in, it's pretty surreal to be here at BYU, top 10. We're top 10 team in the nation. Big 12 championship contenders, just all those recognitions. It's pretty crazy to see that that's where we're at here, and I wouldn't be able to say that that's what I envisioned when my freshman year at Weber State. But like I said, I'm grateful to our Heavenly Father and what He's blessed me with, and all these opportunities and these doors that have opened in my life to lead me to where I'm at today. So yeah, it's pretty surreal, but yeah, I'm just grateful that I'm here.
And then I don't want to get too personal if you don't want to or feel too uncomfortable or everything. But one of my favorite things after home games this year has been seeing you and you grab a special little man and put him on your shoulder as you circle the field. You probably know what I'm talking about, your little boy.
Yeah.
Just what do those moments mean to you? Being able to share them with your family, your wife, obviously, but also your little son. I think he's like
Yeah.
2, 3 right now.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. He's 3 years old. I think I credit that to the culture that Coach Kalani's established here, making us feel welcome, our families feel welcome. And yeah, that's something I look forward to every home game for the past few years, being able to take my son around when we high five the fans, and he actually looks forward to that too. Like every game day, like when he runs up to me, I think he's gonna say like "Good job, Dad" or whatever. But he says, "Oh, let's go high five." So I'm like, "All right." So I think that's a fun experience. It's gonna be one of the core memories for sure. Playing here at BYU.
Logan, you brought up it's surreal to be on this BYU team after everything you've navigated, that's having so much success. I'm curious, how surreal has it been to experience all the changes in college football throughout your career and from portal, NIL, all these different things that have transpired during your time in college football? What would you say as someone who's experienced it, the pros and cons of this new landscape of the sport?
Yeah. I think the new landscape of the sport is really deserving for the athletes. Yeah, coming in and seeing where it was before to where it's at now, I think it's the way to go to be an athlete in college. It's a great experience. Um, and here at BYU, they take care of you, your families, and it's been just a great experience overall. Being in college and seeing all the different changes that have happened. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I feel like that's one of the blessings I've had to experience in my life, is just being a collegiate athlete, and especially here at BYU.
All right. Thank you, Logan.
Yeah, thank you.
Austin, what were the key takeaways the offensive line took from that win over Cincinnati without Waylon Lopwaho in the lineup?
Yeah, it was definitely, we definitely missed Waylon, him being a leader in the offensive line group. And, he was definitely missed, but I think we did everything that we wanted to do going into that game. I think we executed everything very well. Coach Woods and our GAs and Coach A-Rod put us in great positions for us to really run the ball the way we wanted to, and really just make creases and holes for the running backs, and especially for LJ. And, the way things turned out, we were very happy with the end result.
And looking ahead to this week, you're listed on the roster as a junior, but you're going to be recognized on Senior Day. Is this going to be your final year? Do you have eligibility remaining after this season? Just maybe lay out your options going forward.
Yeah, no, I that might be a typo. I'm definitely a senior. This will be my last game at Lavelle Edwards. So it's going to be a surreal moment for me and my family, but we're super excited and happy for the future. So,
Austin, I asked LJ after the game on Saturday about kind of the holes in the creases you guys were opening for him. He gave all the credit for his career high rushing yard to you guys on the offensive line. I want to see just from a lineman's perspective, what is it that makes LJ so great? His vision, his burst, his speed, like whatever it is, like what do you see out of him that makes him kind of do what he does as he kind of follows you guys through a bunch of big holes, I guess?
yeah, I think it's just, who he is as a person. He didn't just, come up on these 1,000 yards just this season. It's all the work that he's put in the off season as well. All of his success that he's had. It's definitely been something that he's been working towards and working very hard towards. We were honestly just there, doing our job, and he was doing his job, and ultimately, it got him to where he is now. And so that's just kind of how we take it as an O-line group. We're just doing our job in our 111 football.
Yeah, Austin, you've been rotating both at guard and at right tackle. Just take us into what's going on there. Is this a chance for you to showcase your skills to the next level of both positions?
Yeah, I think Coach Woods definitely, wanted me to get some reps at tackle as well. Before coming here to BYU, I did play tackle at my last school, and so that was kind of just a decision that we've talked about over the season. And he felt, that I think it was the Iowa State game is when I started rotating again, and he felt that that was a good time for me to kind of just showcase that. But it's been in the talks for a while now, and so it's been good. We've had a good time, and it's been really fun.
I also wanted to ask you, in terms of you going from FCS to FBS Power 4 level, do you feel like the step is maybe not as hard as you thought it might have been? Like, take us through the whole, like, your process, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different process. Going from an FCS to an FBS level, things are a little bit faster. But it's definitely, you feel more prepared in a sense, like your body's going to be right, your mental, your physical, just everything's in order. Rather, at a lower school or a lower division school, you kind of have to do a lot of things on your own, if that makes sense.
Next question from Jay Drew.
Yeah, Austin, obviously you've coming off a really emotional game, uh, and it's senior night, so emotions will be running high. How will you guys respond, and how will you react and guard against any sort of, I don't know if you'd call it an emotional letdown or coming back to earth sort of thing?
I think we're just gonna do, what our coaches, tell us to do each and every week. Flush it, get our minds right for this new opponent. Don't let the outside noise get to us or anything. Something our O-line coach says to us all the time is the environment changes and we don't. And then he also says, we got to have poise in the noise. So just keeping our nose down and our heads in the right headspace, and we'll continue to do what we do.
Okay. Oh, Mitch Harper next.
Yeah, Austin, just curious, the experience that you've had at BYU when you picked BYU out of the portal, has it been everything you kind of hoped for, and just maybe just what this experience has been at BYU and when you were navigating the portal?
Yeah, BYU has definitely been everything that, I could have dreamt of. I've always wanted to be at BYU since I was a little kid. I grew up coming to the games, and just, being here has been such a surreal experience for not only me, but for my family as well, my wife, my two daughters. And essentially, I wouldn't really be here if it wasn't for my wife and my two kids. And I've loved every moment of being here, the coaching staff. I give a lot of thanks to them as well, but ultimately, I have to thank my Heavenly Father, my wife, and my family and our support system. But they've gotten me to this point, and I can't take it for granted. I love BYU, and I love my teammates. They really are the best teammates in the world, and so they've made these last 2 years a pretty magical experience. So
Thank you.
mhm.
All right. Any other questions? Okay, looks like you're good to go, Austin. Thank you.
Thank you.